All right, so we're going to break down the great Hanley Ramirez here. So let's look at the situation. So 5-0, top of the 7th. And he's got a 2-2 count here. This guy just came in probably to end the last inning. And we're looking at a hanging breaking ball here. So this hanging breaking ball, right, you can see how the hump is starting. It's going up, right? He clearly sees it's hanging. He's going to get his foot down, get his hip down. Now, the first thing I'm going to notice is that he's opening up that front foot. So if we go back a little bit, see where his foot is? The toes are pointing at the plate, and you can see when he lands, he's obviously turning his toes towards the first baseman, right? Now he's in a really stretched position. We can see that on his jersey here. You can see how the jersey's being pulled towards his back right. Now, if I work back a little bit, look how that builds. See how that wrinkle isn't as tight? And then as it builds, it gets super tight, and that's his stretch. Now he gets that hip down and his foot down, and this hanging breaking ball is going to get absolutely annihilated. And his head is down on contact. I'm going to zoom out here so we can see the beauty of this. And he's going to hit this ball off the Western Supply third level, right? So this ball is absolutely annihilated. This is a perfect swing, because if you hit the ball that far and that hard, I mean, that is perfection. That's the best thing you can do with a baseball, all right? In one single swing is hit a home run, right? So again, we'll look at this in slow motion, and then we'll go to the lateral view. You can really see him anchor that front foot down, and watch his front hip just keep working back, 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 back. Sets his bow. There's his bow. Kind of loses his front foot a little bit. That's all right. He's able to stay on that ball. Lifts his head up a little bit, but he's all good. All right, so let's get to the lateral view of this swing here. So we've got him in mid-leg kick. Right now, if I were to draw a little squiggly line, right? Like imagine there's a string from here to there. He's gonna rip that string when he gets his hands back. Boom, there's that string being ripped. But the hands never moved, right? Look how the hands just stay exactly where they are. And the foot stretches away. That knob is still at the end of that. So yeah, he pulls it away, but it's a lot closer than where that knee was, right? That knee was right on the end of that line, a little bit at his shin bone, right? We'll get to right here, right? So there's that string. Now it's being stretched, 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 stretched. So he takes that string, number one, boom, there's number two. He's gonna take that string so much further, right? Look at that stretch. And it mainly comes from the body working away from the hands. The origin point is right here. That's the origin point, right? It's not changing. If I scroll back here, look, the hands are essentially staying there. Boom, there's his foot plant. Now, we'll get that out of the way. Actually, let's go back here real quick. This is a beautiful opportunity to take a little screenshot here. Now, we're gonna clear that out. And as he's moving, boom, now his turn, right? Look how that head stays perfectly still. We're just gonna talk about this move right there, right? So he goes from a tilted position here, where I can stack the shoulders. Oh, let me undo that. We've got the shoulders stacked this way, right? And then he's gonna make his move, boom. Now, let's go to where he actually hits the ball. Boom. Now, if I were to draw a line once he finished, let's go right there. That's a definitive line, right? So those lines have changed angles, right? So that's another thing that he does a great job of, is he's changing the angles of his shoulder. And that's one of the reasons why he hits this ball a country mile, right? We're gonna clear that out. So now that we know what we're looking at, we're gonna look at the angle down to the angle up. Boom. Now the foot is traveling because he is driving into that backside so hard. Boom, that front foot hits the ground. Notice how it's pointing to the first base side of the field. He's now going to use that as a rotating lever so he can screw his hip into the ground. Look at that front hip. All right, let's just look at this front hip here. Boom. Look at that rotation, guys. And he's not doing it with his front side, but he's got the mobility and the muscle memory to just snap that hip open, right? So he lands in a really good bow here. He's gonna corner like an absolute madman. Knees come together, snapping his rotation. Now let's zoom out a little bit and clear this out. All right, so now if I'm looking at the swing from the center, if I go back, right, he's closing the gap. You can see the elbow is tight onto his hip. We're gonna move from there. From here, everything should work this way into the ball. Boom. And the ball's not gonna be down there. It's gonna be up. You can see how his bat is working down. Like there's the end of his bat. The bat's working. Boom, there's the end of it, kind of flashing right over here. There's the end of it, and then it's just gonna work. Boom. Through the baseball, boom. Now this baseball's hit a bajillion feet, right? It's hit unbelievably far. And I just want you guys to look at the through position. When does he let go of the bat? We're still not there yet. We're still not there yet. Boom. So he stayed through the ball. If you remember where our original origin point was, right? So he starts turning here, and he doesn't let go of the bat here. So that means that shape, right? If we scroll all the way back, this shape here, he is holding that by getting his hip down into the ground, that front foot, and then turning his backside like a crazy person. Boom, you can even see the angle of that ball coming off his bat. Like that ball is gonna be annihilated, right? And Andre Ethier goes, oh my God, papi, tu viste. Same thing, Mark Ellis is like, that's ridiculous. I played in Oakland for many years. I never saw anything quite like that, all right? And the last thing that I wanna bring up is he's gonna hold this shape right here. And then as he's turning, look how long that shape ends up getting. That's his right arm is fully extended, but he's not doing it by reaching his hands. He's just turning and holding this structure as best as he can, getting that foot down, using his lat. See that little armpit area right here where the jersey's being pulled? That's the lat muscle. And that is being pulled along with his core, flashing that number 13 first to where it looks like he's using his hands. It looks like he's turning off the ball with his shoulders, but he's just opening up the left side of his body so the right side has the space to annihilate this ball. And again, let's just see where this thing goes. Even he knows. Look at that little recoil. He's like, God bless. And look at that little corner right there. Boom. Full corner. Love it. I mean, who hits the ball up there? Nobody. So go back, watch this video. Let's talk about this video. This is going to get released on the TPC True Coach first, and then this will go on YouTube in a couple weeks. All right? Be like Hanley, guys. Hit balls into the third deck.